actually got into education as a volunteer. I wanted to be a member of a sorority, and it required volunteer hours. I began to tutor in math and in science at the high school level and fell in love with it. And when you fall in love with something that you can actually work in, you got to take that opportunity, and that's what I did. I'm not only the principal of Hughes STEM High School, I'm a parent. And so my son is in the 11th grade now at Hughes, and I walked into a hall one day. The bell had rung. Everyone that was tardy immediately took off running to get to class on time, except my kid. He started to walk slower. And I was like, oh, he's really going to test me. He's going to test whether or not I'm going to be mom, or am I going to be Dr. Williams? And I was Dr. Williams with him. So it was funny to me. I don't know how he felt about it, but he's never made that mistake again. He knows in that building, I am Dr. Williams. Some tips I get to new teachers are in the planning. Students should know what to expect when they come into the classroom. Establishing those norms, establishing those routines, kind of a cadence of a class, of when you have extended bells, what they can expect for assessments, when they know they'll be assessed, and respecting them enough to supply them with things that we want. We don't want to show up and not know what our day is going to be like. So ensuring that the students know, when I come into class, I get started on my do now. Before I leave today, I know my teacher is going to check for understanding in one of these ways. When I need help, I know that I need to email, or I leave a Post-it on the teacher's desk, or I raise my hand. But how do I get that help? How do I get help if I'm at home and I'm lost and confused? And setting those routines up are not just good for kids, but they're good for new teachers too. Okay. What inspires me as an educator are my students. I chose Cincinnati Public Schools, Title I schools in particular, to teach in and to lead in on purpose. There are students that are at some other schools that it doesn't matter what adult is in front of them, who's leading the school. Their resources, their family is going to help them get to the places they need to be. That's not always the case. And those kids inspire me. They let me know that the decisions I make are important. They let me know that the presence is important and that someone needs to advocate for them, even if they don't realize just yet the importance of education. They're going to have it when they want it and when they need it. Some of the most rewarding moments, I'm old enough now that I now have students that I taught, their kids are now in the school that I lead. And that when they come and tell me, you taught my mom, you taught my dad, and my dad says you helped him, my mom says you meant this to her. Yeah, that's, because you don't always see that as a teacher, the impact you have like that year. But to know 15 years later that they would tell their kid that you were important to them and that you made a difference to them is very rewarding.